Hey, what's up YouTube? JayDub here. Before I get started with this video, I got some important news to let you guys in on. As always, remember to rate and comment, and if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and click that yellow button over there. Thanks. The important news is that the PWTR show will be returning this week. You heard right, the PWTR show will be on air live this Saturday at 6 p.m. If you want to set a reminder for the show right now, you can go ahead and click that link in the description box. But in the meantime, before we can actually put on a live show, we still have to look for the two new co-hosts for the show. If you're interested in still becoming a co-host and you haven't submitted a video yet, wait around to the end of this video and I'll give you details because the deadline is about to close. So if you're still interested in becoming a co-host, like I said, stick around to the end of the video. What I'm going to talk about first, in this episode of Raw, I'm going to talk about this celebrity guest co-host thing because it's kind of pissing me off a little bit, but I don't, it all depends on how they work things out. Like, even if it's a good show, I still think I'll be, like, kind of against what they're doing, if you get what I'm saying. Reason being, this episode of Raw, we had Seth Green from Robot Chicken and the person that plays Chris on, or at least is the voice of Chris on Family Guy, and he was in Austin Powers and everything like that. We have him being a celebrity guest co-host. Now, while it was a good show, it wasn't a great show. It was a lot of things that they could have improved in the show, but one of the reasons that the show was good in the first place was because they had an excellent crowd. That crowd was excellent. They were great from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. And WWE, hell, they need to take them everywhere that they go. They would have been great on this last episode of SmackDown, because that last episode of SmackDown, that crowd absolutely sucked. I mean, you had two great wrestlers in the ring, Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, two future stars. I mean, we're going to see in the future that match is going to be for a heavyweight championship. Mark my words right here. But anyway, back to the crowd. It's funny how the crowd was so live in WWE. They were in Orlando, Florida. Now, I guess some of you could tell where I'm going along the lines of this. Orlando, Florida is the home base for TNA Impact. That's where they do all the Impact shows in the Impact Zone and Universal Studios lot or whatever. I guess the fans down there were like wrestling deprived, or at least quality wrestling deprived. But yeah, like I said, I buried my hatchet with TNA, so I digress. I'll move on. Back to what I was saying about the celebrity guest co-host thing. Even if the show is good, I'm still not for the concept, because it makes the celebrity guest co-host like central to the storylines and everything. Like in tonight's episode, Randy Orton was saying how he was telling Legacy, you guys worry about Triple H and John Cena. I'm gonna worry about Seth Green. You don't even touch him at all. I have in my sights. I'm gonna worry about him. And I'm thinking to myself, like, in 2 weeks, don't you have a match for your WWE Championship at Night of Champions with John Cena and Triple H? Why the hell are you putting your fate, possibly the fate of your WWE Championship, in the hands of these two failures? Hell, they couldn't even get the tag team championships for themselves. How are you going to trust them? Damn, I'm sick. How are you going to trust them to, with the fate of your WWE Championship? But, like next week they announced, for next week's show they announced that ZZ Top was going to be the guest co-host. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? Like, I've never heard any of their songs. Like, the only reason I know who ZZ Top are is because Hank Hill from King of the Hill is one of their cousins. And I know it's a cartoon, but yeah, I was watching one day and I saw them on there. That's the only reason why I know who they are. But yeah, for this celebrity guest co-host thing, who would you guys prefer to see as a celebrity guest co-host? That's my one question. And along the same lines, do you want them to continue with these celebrity guest co-hosts, or do you want the celebrities to actually have connections to the wrestling world, like Batista did, like Ted DiBiase Sr. did, and people like that? Second topic I'm going to talk about. I'm not stopping this video. Oh shit. Hold on. Not stopping. Anyway, moving on. Second topic I'm going to talk about is Chris Jericho and his latest developments with his tag team championships. As Edge, he ended up injuring himself, so Chris Jericho and his tag team championships were kind of like in limbo. So we come to realize that Chris Jericho signed the contract saying that if anything happens to Edge, like it did, he will still retain his championship, and he has the power to name his partner. So, second question I want to ask you guys: who do you think is going to be Chris Jericho's partner? Or who would you want to be Chris Jericho's partner? Personally, I would want Dolph Ziggler to be his partner. I mean, Dolph Ziggler, he perfectly fits the mold, or at least as perfectly as you can get to fit the mold of the type of characters that Chris Jericho and Edge portrayed, you know. So he's like the narcissistic, egotistical type personality and everything. I think he would fit in perfectly, and Chris Jericho could be seen as like his mentor, you know, grooming him as he moves up the ranks on SmackDown. So, yeah. What was I gonna talk about? Finally, I think that was it. Okay. On to the PWTR show. Like I said, we're going on live on air this Saturday at 6 p.m. Like I said, there's a link in the description box. If you're still interested in becoming a co-host for the show, you have to submit a video response to the video. I'm going to have an annotation up somewhere in this video. You could submit a video response to that video. Once you submit a video response, and you have to do it on Tuesday, because Wednesday, 12 a.m. midnight, that's going to be the cutoff period. So after Tuesday, no more submissions, and we're going to name the people who won the 2 spots for the show. We're going to name them as soon as possible. Like I said, we want to go on air this Saturday at 6 p.m. Let me know your feedback. Let me know what you guys are feeling. And the third question I wanted to ask you guys is, what do you want us to talk about on the PWTR show this Saturday? So type your comments in the comment section below, and yeah, peace out.